So we're taking a walk through Sisters, and if you can see the mountains in the background, we're just stunned by them. We hiked by the South Sister, the Middle Sister, and the North Sister, and it's just really an incredible view, and imagining that that's your backyard looking at those mountains. So we've enjoyed the town of Sisters. We got all our necessary things done, and we will be leaving for the trail tomorrow morning. Blanche is going to take us to the trailhead. See you then.
Morning.
Morning.
It is, I think, the 15th.
Friday the 15th.
Friday the 15th of July. We just got dropped off by a wonderful trail angel named Blanche. She takes hikers to the trail from Sisters. And this is the trail ahead of us, anticipating hopefully a good day, probably around 20 miles. And we've got our new equipment. Pierre's got new trekking poles. I've got new trekking poles and a new backpack. We're excited about that. Blanche's story, she's 78 years old. She loves backpacking. She got into it at the age of 71. She's actually even planning to do some of the John Muir Trail this year. So she certainly is an inspiration and a delight to talk to this morning. We had a great stay in Sisters. We both feel pretty rested and ready to get back on trail and test out our new equipment, see how that goes. And we will catch you down the trail.
We are back on the trail, looking south to the Sisters. We're heading up this hill, going to go around Three Finger Jack, and we're in the Jefferson Wilderness. It's been a beautiful morning. We just met another thru hiker from Poland who's dealing with banking issues back in Poland, making phone calls. The real world sometimes infringes out on the wilderness for everybody. Hopefully you notice Renee's new pack, an Osprey EL 58 liters. She says it rides pretty well. Her old pack was an ultralight pack, and the padding had broken down and was riding really hard on her body and beating her body up. So while we were in Sisters, we did a strategic REI run and got her a new pack. More details about the comfort of that pack as we go down the trail. I'll just take a look, pan here, see where we came from, over there, and then we're going to be going up the trail.
We just had our snack, and this trail so far is providing wonderful views. As you can see, we've got lots of mountains in the distance, and there's actually a lake down there too. You can just see it right there in the middle. And just are moving around Three Finger Jack, and a bit of snow here and there. But certainly there have been enough people through that there's nice tracks through with the dirty shoes that make it kind of grippy, so not too bad. And loving this non-burn area for sure. How are you doing, Pierre?
Doing great.
Good.
Like listening to the runoff from the seasonal streams down below.
Yeah. It's lovely. Catch you later. Oh, there's Mount Jefferson. We were waiting for that view. There it is.
We have about 4 more miles to our campsite. So we've gotten water from this little lake here, and then we're going to be using this lake as a place to wash off the dust from our legs, put our pant legs on, and then go down the trail and stay relatively clean. But this is a really pretty lake. Got snow on one end, the outflow down here, and you know, it's a beautiful sunny day.
Good evening. It's about 7 o'clock and we had a tough day. It was just a lot of uphill, a lot of kind of sketchy snow, real steep inclines, and so we haven't done this in a long time, but we called it short by about a mile. However, we did that because we have this epic view from our tent site, and so we cannot complain about that. As you can see, pretty much 360, and there's our tent. I'll come around to the other side so you can see. Just like that. There it is. We're gonna have some dinner and call it a night.
Good morning. It's 6:30. We tore down our tent. We're having some breakfast. Renee, what are you eating this morning?
Oatmeal.
Oatmeal. I've got my coffee.
With lots of pumpkin seeds and dried blueberries and cranberries.
I've got my coffee. I've already had my breakfast. Through the trees, maybe you can see a bit of Mount Jefferson. Still there from last night. All the other thru hikers who came in later are already gone. They're hardcore, get up, eat a bar and go type people. We like to sit back and enjoy coffee and enjoy the sunrise. I'll pan a little bit until you can see the edge of the sun. Beautiful morning. We're looking for a nice, easy day out to Pamelia Lake, where we'll meet our friend who will help us get around the fire closure. See you down the trail.
Morning. Just left camp, and we've got some beautiful views as we walk along this ridge, looking back way over there, Three Finger Jack, where we were, and Pierre's moving on ahead down the trail. We're hoping for less snow today. We just crossed a few patches. Seems in the morning though that the snow is more compact and people have walked through it, so it's gritty. Definitely meeting a lot more thru hikers all of a sudden. It's like there's a big bubble that went through. We met, what was his name this morning, hon? Airdrop this morning. It's always nice hearing their stories, and apparently we have a big tree to circumnavigate.
We took a break down at the chutes.
Yeah.
In Bend and floated Bend, and now they're all back on trail.
Yeah, so anyway, we've got a big group of people that we're going to probably run into on and off here coming up. So we'll catch you down the trail.
We are now low enough elevation that we're now on pine needle covered forests. Just a nice break. Yesterday was a tough day for both of us on trail. Physically tough, a lot of burn, so that was hard to go through. And then we just had some real technical stuff that made us have some challenges, but we got through it. the old adage, right, is never quit on a bad day. We didn't think about quitting, but definitely we went to bed a little bit beaten down. But today the trail has given us back, and it's sunny, it's beautiful, and we're both feeling revived. I think a good night's sleep also helps at the end of the day to bring back up your spirits. But just as a beautiful spot and lots of trees.
Good night's sleep in the tent.
Yeah, good night's sleep in the tent.
We've learned to appreciate our tent nights. They seem to be they just feel much better than hotel rooms for whatever reason.
Yeah, it's our cozy, safe space, I guess.
Currently, we are walking through a bunch of rhododendron. We met a guy ahead of us who was photographing flowers and mentioned that we would come across this part of the trail that was covered with rhododendron bushes. And there it's a really beautiful flower, as you can see.
We're about a half a mile from the trailhead. This is where we decided to stop and have lunch. I'm leaning up against a good old mossy log. Renee's gathering some water, and we are just sort of enjoying the beauty of this little space.
Hi. It is evening time, getting close to 7, and we were dropped off by Chris, and she dropped us off at Frog Lake Trailhead, which gives us another 10 miles of the PCT that we wouldn't have gotten if she dropped us off at Timberline. So we started down the trail, and we're taking a little alternate to a campsite, hopefully, on Upper Twin Lakes. The Lower Twin Lakes had a bunch of people already camping there. We thought, oh, maybe we'll give her a look at the other one. So about 3 miles down the trail, hopefully we'll find a good camp spot, have some dinner, and start our next leg of the journey. We'll end up at Timberline tomorrow, where we'll pick up our box, but we'll just take a look at Timberline because it's supposed to be pretty epic, and then we'll get our box, food put together, and then we'll take off again, off to Cascade Locks, which should take about 3 days or so. Check in later.
This is Upper Twin Lake, Mount Hood in the background, and we're trying to find a spot along the edge of the lake for a place to camp.
Good morning. We decided to wait till a little bit later in our hike, since we took a little video of our campsite last night. We've been hiking through woods, mostly uphill, on our way to Timberline Lodge. Got a mile left, about. Still quite a bit of a climb, but we finally have our first awesome views of Mount Hood right ahead of us. Pretty spectacular. Another volcano with a little bit of glacier left. As you can see, the gray-ish kind of snow there on the side. And the trail is really quite sandy. So as all of us from Michigan know, it's not super easy, especially to climb uphill on sand. So that's why I'm breathing a little heavy. But it's been a beautiful morning, nice trail, no snow to speak of. And we're excited to hit Timberline Lodge, and we'll catch you there. Another view of Mount Hood. We're almost at Timberline Lodge, which is, I'll flip the camera around and you'll see the Timberline Lodge, but wanted you to see the chairlift there. And then all those little dots on the mountain are people skiing. Who knew? Skiing in July. That is so fun. Not sure the quality of the snow, but it's so fun that you can do that. And then, as we turn around, we are on our way to Timberline Lodge, which is right there. You can see all the clouds below, so we're quite up in elevation. And we'll flip the camera, or we'll put the camera on the front when we get there. Made it to Timberline Lodge. Here it is. And we just picked up our box. We're gonna go check out inside. And then we're gonna put our food together and chill out for a minute and then head out again.
So if you go in,
You can see Mount Jefferson now in the background. That's where we were.
We're at the Timberline Lodge. We picked up our box. Renee is doing her little thing about organizing the food. And then we're going to go down the trail. We may stop into the bar over here, second floor up, for a drink, but we'll see. Here is the view, people hanging out, taking in the day, and they're looking at Mount Hood and watching people, I guess, ski down. Just finished up at Timberline Lodge, stayed for the lunch buffet, and it was pretty good value, I think. In the background, you can see Mount Jefferson. We were there a few days ago on the other side, and now we're here. It's amazing what feet can do, given enough time. We will be going down the trail. We got a few ups and downs, and then we will be going by Tunnel Falls, and making our way to Cascade Locks. It's been a really gorgeous day. See you down the trail.
Good afternoon. We've had an exciting afternoon since Timberline. We've gotten off trail a couple times, did some bonus miles, which we always love. That being said, we did have some great views on those bonus miles, so it's about the journey. Fewer will get in our miles today, but not as far on the PCT. But just to the side of me, you can see it's a big waterfall there, and let's see, there's a couple big waterfalls. I don't think I can pan around enough to see it, but just beautiful as we come down into this ravine, and you can see in back of me what we came down from.
Good morning. This is where we camped last night, along the Muddy Fork. We slept in this morning, and we're getting up. It's now a little bit after 6. There's Renee getting ready in the tent. I went and get some water. This area here is really quite mossy, so we're low enough, we're about 2,500 feet, that when it snows up on Mount Hood, it must rain here, because everything on the ground, there's a good coating of moss and green. There must have been a blowdown. A lot of big trees are knocked over, and as a result, you gotta find spots. You can find the spots back there where you can camp. We're looking for a lovely day of hiking today. The clouds seem to be disappearing. It's going to probably be a blue sky day. We will check in with you on the trail.
Good morning. Woke up this morning to a beautiful day. We've been walking down the trail. We had a big climb kind of through the woods, and then rewarded again kind of through the trees. You can just make out this face of Mount Hood. So we've circumnavigated seen almost all the faces, I think. And it's just different. Every time you look at it, it looks a little bit different. It's really cool. We are now about to descend, and Pierre is ahead there on the trail. And we are moving forward, and we'll see you later.
As we're hiking along today, can't help but notice all the rhododendron that we're going by. And you sort of become blind to it after a while. So I tried to make a point of taking a video of it, just appreciating the beauty, because it's just really quite a pleasant hike we're on today.
Still morning. We just had some snack, and we said our goodbyes potentially to Mount Hood. Beautiful pictures. And the next mountain you see there in the distance is Mount St. Helens. We're not quite sure if we get super close to that, but it's about 60 miles away as the crow flies from here. And so yeah, that's pretty cool. All those spectacles looming in the distance, and getting close to them and going away from them has been kind of a fun experience. But there's lots of snow out there, it looks like. Traveling down this beautiful trail, loving it. Beautiful morning, and we'll catch you later.
We've done about 15 miles of hiking today, and then we got about 5 more miles to go. We're going to be camping at this lake, and where we'll spend the night. And then tomorrow we're going to go to a side trail that leads us to Tunnel Falls, and we're pretty excited about that. So we'll take you on that trip tomorrow. Overall, today's been a really good day. Lovely terrain and no snow, so we're very, very happy. Oh, blowdowns, yes, lots of blowdowns. However, you know, I'd rather climb over a tree.
But we met and talked to a lot of different people, southbounders, day hikers, and a guy that we've been leapfrogging with since yesterday from Germany.
Mm-hmm.
Morning. It's a town day. We're happy. We're actually going into Cascade Locks this morning. We started out, we camped with mother and daughter last night because there weren't any campsites that didn't have other people. Come across several waterfalls. We are on our way to the Tunnel Falls, and that is certainly going to be a highlight of the day, and we will update you when we get there and let you see what we're seeing. But this is beautiful as well. We're having a nice hike this morning. Most of it will be downhill, and we expect to get into Cascade Locks probably around 1 o'clock or so. This trail that goes down to Tunnel Falls burned a couple of years ago, so it actually was closed until last year. And just wanted to show you the effects of burn. All those brown trees, it's pretty extensive walking through burn. The nice thing about burn though is that you can see more. So rather than just tiny little outlines of mountains, you can actually see what you're walking through. And there is a good amount of green regrowth, which is always nice to see. But yeah, it's pretty pretty interesting. I mean, it's another environment you walk through. Making our way down to the falls. Lots of waterfalls on the way. We're walking along this really kind of narrow ridge, and there's a cable along the edge, I'm assuming for people to hang on to if need be. Now behind the waterfall in the tunnel, coming out the other side.
Good morning. As you saw, we did Tunnel Falls. We're now making our way down the Eagle Creek drainage. We got about 4 miles to where we'll be camping tonight, and we'll be basically in Cascade Locks. And then we have some town business to take care of. Today has been a great day for visuals. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing some of the images, but this has been a really nice way to come into town. So if you're doing the PCT, I would definitely recommend doing this alternative.
It's our first view of Bridge of the Gods. So we made it to Cascade Locks, and we picked up our box. They had held it for us, which was great. We're staying at the Bridge of the Gods Motel RV park. Got a nice little room with a kitchenette. It's got some fizzy water, which we always crave. We're gonna chill out for a little while and decide what we want to do for dinner. We started some laundry because they have a laundromat, which is so cool. And we're staying in room number 5, right up there. And we're gonna take a 0 tomorrow, going to Portland. Hopefully we get a shuttle bus there, and we can see the Bridge of the Gods right there, which we'll cross the next day into Washington.